Welcome to Ready Set RC, and today we have the FMS FMT24 on the channel. This is the Chevrolet Colorado Edition. This is a 1/24th scale, and I'm going to call it for what it is, a basher. But this is the first time I'm actually seeing an FMS basher, guys, and this thing looks the part. This thing comes in 3 different colors. We got the black, the white, and the blue. You guys can kind of see what I got in here. We know with FMS, it comes nicely packaged up, styrofoam box. Looks really nice, guys. This is the black, but it looks more like a gunmetal if you ask me, which even makes it better because there's a lot of metallic in the paint. This is a licensed body. Let's go over the boring stuff that you get in the box. You get a T-wrench, USB charger for your LiPo battery, spacers for your shocks. Touching on the manual, strongly advised, just go through it really quick. Similar to getting prepared for your first run, the vehicle setup, the shocks, servo, the wheels and tires, 3D renderings of the vehicle itself. This is the stuff I kind of geek out on. Functions of the ESC, functions of the controller, getting prepared for your first run. And then there's also a parts listing for the truck. And then you get the FMS transmitter. It is a 3-channel controller. Gonna take your AAA batteries down below. You get a bind button, a reverse button, your steering trim and dual rate, your throttle trim and dual rate, and your power button. Your 3rd channel is going to be right here. And this is going to control what we know as the nice foam wheel, feels good in the hands, and is one-handed capable driving, guys. The overall length is 239 millimeters. The wheelbase is 140 millimeters. The width from edge to edge, from one side of the tire to the other, is 161 millimeters. Ground clearance, 37 millimeters. And the overall height is 108 millimeters. The FMT24 is ready to run. We'll talk about the 2-speed transmission. This comes with ball bearings throughout, Lexan body, Metal Gear steering servo. You guys who know FMS more so for their crawling, this has independent suspension all around. So this is not a solid axle like we know with their crawlers. And I gotta say, guys, it has a decent amount of weight to it. It feels really good. Front and rear planetary gear differentials. Now let's talk about how do you take this beautiful body off. Typically what you'll see on a lot of their RCs that have no body pins, they'll have this system where you squeeze the 2 points here and push the body up, just like this one. Now, I'm gonna do something a little bit different to get the body off in the front. Since there's a lot of flex with this bumper, I'm gonna pull the bumper forward and ease it up. And that's it, guys. That's simple to get the body off. These foam spacers are there just for the delivery of the RC. You can discard them. Looking at the connectors, I'm not sure if you guys are gonna be able to see that. I'll try to pull it up really close. We have XT30 connectors. Oh, that's a healthy battery pack, guys. This is a good size. This is a 2S25C 900 mAh LiPo pack. For the body, guys, this thing feels really good in the hands. As I mentioned, there is no body pin. What's gonna fix the body in the front is going to be this mount inside the body that's gonna slip through the truck. And as I mentioned in the rear, you have this system similar to the other FMS crawlers where you just squeeze this system in and the body comes right off. The body itself is Lexan, painted underneath. You got a silver backing on it. Feels really good in the hands. The window decals, the decals going on the side, and they all feel really good applied to the body too, guys. This body feels really nice in the hands and it looks really good as well. This entire front piece right here, this is a molded composite. We also have a composite crash bar in the back, and that feels really good and sturdy in the hands. The bumper, nice and flexible. This is going to be able to take some decent amount of hits. We have a composite shock tower, multiple different mounts for the front here. So this is where you're going to adjust the body height. These shocks feel really good. They have oil in them. They feel really smooth coming from the factory. Truly am impressed. I almost did not believe they were oil filled until I read through the manual, and then I took one of the shocks apart just to confirm, and oil filled, guys. And just giving it the drop test, it's solid, guys. Now these tires and wheels do not have a foam insert in them, but as I mentioned, for this truck of this size, I don't think you need it. I really like the design of these wheels. These wheels look amazing, and they're glued on. They're not just placed onto the wheels. These tires are glued on here. Feels really good. I don't know this tread pattern, but it feels good. These tires feel nice and tacky. Links in the front and rear are non-adjustable. I don't think you need adjustable links for an RC of this size. Looks like the 2-speed is going to be mechanically adjusted, so it is adjusted by a servo, is what's going to give you the 2-speed on the RC. From what I can see, this servo that's over here is going to be your steering servo. The servo that's on this side is going to be your first speed and second speed shifter. And then those are going to go back and connect to your ESC and receiver combo. This is the FMS R3B ESC and receiver combo. Power switch is right here on the top. Composite chassis all the way throughout. I like how it kicks up in the front and then kicks up again in the rear and gives you that high clearance underneath. I do see another port in the ESC receiver combo to allow you to plug in lights. Now this does not come with lights, but it looks like this ESC and receiver combo has that option on there. For the motor, we're looking at a 370 brush motor. The center drive shaft is completely sealed. The outdrives on this are metal, and there are CVD type drive shafts in the front and on the rear on this. You guys can see no lock diffs. The diffs are open, front and rear. The battery is going to be held with an elastic strap that's going to come around and go over to this other side. This is the battery compartment down here. And then in the rear, you're going to see that mount for the body in the rear. And as I mentioned in the front, this is completely adjustable. So if you're able to find bodies for this, you're going to be able to mount some bodies and lift the height up on it. The wheelie bar that we have in the rear, there's no ball bearings for the wheelie bar, but the wheelie bar has multiple different adjustments to allow that to pivot up if you need it to. This RC has hex hardware throughout the RC. Another plus for FMS on that one. I like that. This truck also has a servo saver on it, and from what I can see, you can adjust the servo saver right underneath. Another kudos to FMS on that one. To get the body back on, you're just going to simply push it through that mount in the front, and then it's going to line up perfectly in the rear to push it down. And then that's it, guys. The body's back on. So for size reference, I wanted to give you guys an idea of what the sizes looks like. This is my 1/24th FMS Max Smasher, just so you guys get an idea of the size. For you guys that are not familiar with the Max Smasher, this was FMS's first introduction to a solid axle monster truck. Great truck, guys. I actually turned mine into, and you're gonna love this, 4-wheel steer. I have a video that I display everything about this. You may want to check that video out if you want to know more about the Max Smasher and everything that I did to this little puppy. But I wanted to bring this one out so you guys can see a size difference. Here we are with the wheelbases. Just try to give you guys a good look of what that looks like. Same. Let's give you a width, inner to inner. And you can see the FMT24 is a wider truck, guys. I'm matching up the inners on this side. Definitely a higher truck on the Max Smasher, lower for the FMT24. FMT24. Now, something I wanted to show you guys before I take it out. Speed of the servo, not bad for a 24 scale. I wanted to talk to you guys about the functionality of the 3-position switch before we take it out, because I know once I get it out, I'm gonna be so much into just driving this that I won't even capture it in the run video. So the 3-position switch that's down here by my thumb, you have the first one. That looks like low gear. Switching it to the middle position. I noticed that when it's on load, doesn't move. So you get like a revving, even though when you pick it up, the wheels will move a little bit. But it sounds like it's just a revving. I know this from also the FMS 24, the monster truck, the solid axle monster truck, does kind of the same thing. And then position number 3 on the controller, ballistic mode. Ballistic, guys. This thing is insane. Let's get this thing out. This thing is a lot of fun, guys. 1/24 scale. I can't believe it has this much power. And likes to land on its feet. Oh, traction roll. Like a little off-roaded. Yes. Really fun, guys. FMT, give you guys a close look of how the truck performed afterwards and kind of speak about this a little bit. First off, you can see underneath the chassis, a lot of scrapes was happening in the front, but the front held up well. Bumper completely supported, no issues there. Wheelie bar, no issues on the wheelie bar. The arms, you guys can see, no issues on the arms. This thing completely surprised me. And I gotta say, guys, low gear, don't even waste your time. Even if you have a little kid, just give it to them and let them have at it. That low gear, I would say it's more so maybe for crawling or whatever. And even so, you're not going to buy this to do any crawling. You're going to go out there and you're going to give this thing hell. And for a brushed RC, this thing is a nutball when you put it into high gear. Front and the rear are both unlocked, but the center, and I'll show you guys here now, is locked. So you have a locked center diff on this. That is why this thing has so much power. What I found is that the power is applied to it evenly. It's applied directly to it, and you get a ton of power in high gear. As for the body, it held up pretty well. We got some scrapes here, maybe some minor abrasions here, a little bit going on in the rear. No cracks or breaks to speak of. This thing held up pretty good to the abuse that I was giving it. Tumbled with this thing, I flipped it, I tossed it, I did everything you could off of the jumps. And I didn't just have one set of jumps for it so that it was just a flat jump. I also had a jump that was on there that made it do 360s in the air. This thing was landing on its wheels. I mean, it handled well, guys. And the battery pack, for the time that I was out there, it still was holding up pretty good. I would say I was out there probably about 15 minutes, and I still got a good charge still left to probably go about another 5 or 10 minutes more to go. These tires are grippy. They hold up excellent on this. A little bit of traction rolling on it on the basketball court, but for the most part, these tires held up pretty good. All you have to do is just remember, let off the throttle, let it glide into the turn, let it kind of pivot itself, and then gun it when you get out of it. On the loose dirt, perfect. These tires hold up extremely well. Traction is perfect. This thing was tumbling and flipping and doing all these kind of somersaults, and it was just landing back on its wheels. I had probably the most fun with this when I took it over the tree roots and was really just having at it. This motor, I didn't check the heats, but nothing cut out. And I gotta say that it held up and was doing everything that I was giving to it. As I mentioned before, it's brushed. And I was completely surprised how powerful this RC is brushed. And as for the transmitter, this thing held up pretty well, guys. Easy to drive one-handed. Switching into the modes of high and low was very easy. The reception was very good in reference to how responsive it was. And I have to say, guys, for a go fast RC from FMS, this transmitter did not disappoint. So what's my thoughts on the FMS FMT24 Chevy Colorado Edition? Guys, this is a run, not walk type of RC. And what I mean by that is run, go pick this up. Don't think about it, throw it in your cart and sit it around and not buy this. I know FMS is looking to come out with a brushless version of this. I don't know what the release date is going to be, but I have to say, guys, you will be thoroughly pleased, and even your kids, with the FMT24 brushed edition. It is plenty fast for an RC this size. I only ask if you guys are considering buying the FMT24, you like what you hear from the channel, go ahead and use the affiliate link in the description below. It is no cost to you. It helps out the channel. Lets FMS know who you're going to hear a review on this RC. But we're gonna leave it here. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and TikTok for the latest updates to the channel. This is Ready Set RC, signing out. Thanks again, guys.